This is right now. And I'm Bobbi, and this is Heidi. And we're cousins. And we listen to books and thought we would tell you about them. There will be spoilers. So if you're like...
Yeah, spoiler alert. There will be so many spoilers.
Yeah. Don't watch if you don't want to know what the end is. On some of them. Some of them we won't tell the end. And some we straight up will.
We'll see.
Because sometimes the end is the most like, excuse me? So anyways, today's book is Moby Dick. Heidi read this one, and she has a lot to say.
I apparently have a lot to say. So, I just finished listening to Moby Dick. And so, just to start off with some background, some stuff that I learned in the book was apparently so it's about a sperm whale. They're not called sperm whales because of sperm.
Well, no.
That's what I always assumed.
Well, what? Because they look like it?
They kind of do.
Because they're white?
Well, they're not all white.
They're gray?
They're like gray. So anyway, they're not named sperm whales because of sperm. They're named sperm because it's short for spermaceti, which is...
So the person who found them?
No.
Oh, okay.
It's a stuff that's found inside their head that
They're
whalers
like brain?
would... No.
Oh.
Like something else. Like it was used for cosmetics, candles, and oil. So it's
That's
like whale oil.
disgusting.
Yeah, it is. It is disgusting.
It's like that when they ate the mummy dust. That was like...
Oh, yeah, that was gross.
Oh my gosh.
Well,
okay.
but that's why they're called sperm whales.
Okay, sure.
And then the reason that it's called Moby Dick is apparently if there was like a specific whale and you were naming it, you would usually name it after the place where it was seen.
Okay.
And then just give it a random dude name. So like I wrote down Guam Gary or Barbados Bob.
Oh my god.
Like that. And so
did he just extra hate this one, or was that just... I mean, it was a...
So
part
of it is loosely based off of like a whale that was off the coast of South
Moby?
America, and it was called Mocha Dick because it was seen from the island of Mocha.
Okay.
But so he changed it to Moby Dick. So that's why it's called Moby
They could
Dick.
have gone with Richard, but they didn't. Is what I was... You know what I mean?
We'll get to that in a minute.
Okay.
Yeah, modern times, different times.
You're right.
But we'll get there.
Okay.
So there's a whole lot of stuff in this book we could talk about it because it's a beefy book. The audiobook was almost 24 hours long.
Frick.
It's very long.
That is so long.
And so there's a lot of stuff we could talk about. We could talk about the religious stuff. We could talk about the whaling stuff. We could talk about the superstition stuff. I want to talk about the gay stuff.
Oh, man. Okay.
So...
Okay.
Moby Dick is even gayer than its title. And I will die on this hill. And I am going to tell you all about it because whaling is a metaphor and it is an unrequited gay love story.
In the book, was there touching or was there not?
We'll get there.
Okay.
So, it was published in 1851.
Okay.
Queer did not start to mean gay until the late 1800s, theoretically. But, I mean, etymology, I always get entomology and epistemology mixed up. One is the study of words and one is the study of bugs. So it's a bad one. That's so close. Either way. So you can't really trace the origin of all words.
Right.
And supposedly dick did not start to mean penis until the 1880s. Supposedly it was something that soldiers said, but the word dick was used to mean like a man as far back as the 1600s. So...
Man like their name or man like, hey, that's a man?
Like there goes a dick. You know, just like a man.
Okay, like a dude.
Like a dude.
Like a dude.
Yeah.
Okay, like a dude.
So, the book is dedicated to another author named Nathaniel Hawthorne.
Okay.
And it is in token of my admiration for his genius.
And a dude wrote Dick?
Yeah. Herman Melville wrote this.
So, a dude for a dude. And you're like, that's kind of a sus hint?
Okay.
Is that what you're saying?
Yes, like there are lots of little things where it's like it could have been a coincidence.
Yeah.
But once you get into the book,
you're like,
this ain't no coincidence.
It's one of those where your friend makes too many jokes and you're like, that's a funny joke and that's a funny joke and okay, now you're living it.
Now
it's not a joke anymore.
It's
you're in it too thick for that.
Yeah, it starts out and then it quickly is like, I don't think this is a joke.
Yeah, this isn't a joke.
Serious. I think this is a serious.
No, for sure.
All right, so the book itself.
Yes.
We start out with Ishmael. Regular guy.
Right.
Every now and then he gets like, he's like, I get the itch to go to sea. Just like he likes to go.
So he wasn't even like a whaler or a sailorman or anything. He just was like, I'm a dude.
I'm a guy and I like to go sailing. Okay. And so he had been on sailing missions before, but he'd never been whaling. And he was like, I want to try whaling this time. And you can go and you can go and get on a cruise, but then you have to pay. But if you sign up as a sailor, they pay you.
Okay, but like that's silly.
It's the 1800s.
I know, but I just think of like Deadliest Catch, where they're like, "Oh, just anybody, let's toss you out on."
Oh, these guys wish it was Deadliest Catch.
No, but you know what I mean? Like if you do that nowadays, and they're like, don't fall off," and then people just are like, "That's what it sounds like." You're like, "You're a fool. Don't do that."
Well, he'd do that.
Okay, and he signed up as a regular.
So he's been a sailor before. He's never been a whaler before.
But he's not like captain. He's just a dude.
No, he's just like a regular dude. He's just like he very specifically he talks about he's like, I'm new at this. I can tie the knots. I can do some sailor stuff. I don't know anything else.
I won't fall off, maybe.
He hopes.
Oh my gosh.
We'll see. All right. So he goes to like the whaling part of town because it's a whaling town.
Sure.
Whale. Yeah, all sorts of whale stuff. And he gets to find an inn he can afford, but all the rooms are taken.
Oh, frick.
And the innkeeper is like, well, there is one room that has a bigger bed, but you would be sharing it with another guy if that's cool with you. But he is a whaling guy, you know, you might have
bros or something. Yeah. Bros on the same boat.
And
oh my gosh.
But you can meet him once he gets back from selling his head. And what? And he's like, he recently got back from Africa. He's selling shrunken heads, for curio shops. And you're like,
sure.
Okay.
Sure.
Oh, okay. Mm-hmm, and then, so, like, it gets later and later. It's midnight. And he's like, oh, I guess he's not coming home tonight. Just go to bed. And so he just gets in bed, goes to sleep. And then in the middle of the night, this guy comes in.
Oh, my gosh.
So, what the innkeeper left out is Ishmael is like, this guy's a cannibal. And at first I was like, racist. I think you just mean black.
Oh my.
But actually,
did he say this black guy? And then he was like,
no, whatever? He just said the guy who comes in, he's carrying his harpoon and a shrunken head, which he obviously wasn't able to sell. Yeah, and he's like, and he's a cannibal. And you're like, you can't say stuff like that. But then it turns out that Queequeg, which is the guy's name, is from a part of Africa that did practice cannibalism. So it was like, at first I was kind of like racist, and then it was like, oh, accurate.
Oh, free.
But also there's also some racism in the book that is, but that's not what we're talking about. We're not talking about that though.
Oh no.
So the logical thing to do would have been, excuse me, hi, you don't know me. I'm your roommate for the night.
Yeah.
If you're cool with that, that's not what this guy does.
Introduce yourself.
That's not what this guy does. He's sitting there in bed. And he watches Queequeg, he puts his stuff down, he lights his pipe, he takes off his shirt, and he's like, he's got a lot of tattoos. So he spends time describing this guy's tattoos, and he's like, oh yeah, he's obviously like a tough whaler dude because he's ripped.
Right.
And it's like, at what point are you gonna tell him you're here? And so he's just sort of like hypnotized by him.
This guy doesn't even know. He just comes in, thinks there's nobody in there, and he's just like...
And he's just, yes.
Look at this hot guy.
Yes.
He's going to eat me, though. So, like, whatever.
Well, at this point, he would kind of, who sneaks into somebody's bed at night? Well, because everybody's gone to bed. Right. So there hasn't been anybody to tell him.
Yeah, that's
true. So
yeah, but wouldn't he assume, be like, hey, you have the room with the bigger beds, so there might be someone coming in here. Wouldn't that just be an established thing? You know what I mean? Or instead of walking in and being like, sick, I got the king size, and then you just assume that you're good.
I don't know.
You know what I mean?
But that's not what happened. So let's see. So then he's there shirtless, maybe more, with his pipe, and he turns out the light, and it's like, dude, the time to speak that
he's just smoking his pipe in the dark. Yeah. Hoping that it don't tip out.
The time to speak would have been then.
Oh no, I would have said something as soon as he came in and been like, excuse me, sir?
So poor Queequeg jumps into a bed and discovers there's another person in it. And understandably freaks out a little bit.
Oh yeah, I would have been like, holy freak, there's a dude in here.
English is not this guy's first language.
Oh no.
So there's lots of yelling. And then
oh my god.
Then the innkeeper comes in with a candle and it's like, oh Queequeg, you're back. This is Ishmael, he's your roommate for tonight. Okay? And Queequeg is like, I mean, I guess. And so then they just get in bed and go to sleep.
5 feet apart because they're not gay. It's a meme if you don't know it. I'm not.
Yeah,
whatever.
It is a meme.
It's old.
It is an old
but
meme.
It is still there.
It is an old meme. But yes, I recall. So so Ishmael wakes up the next morning and is aware that there was an arm over him. And he's like,
but is it like accident?
It's an accident.
Okay.
He's like, okay, this is non-threatening. It's an accident.
Sure.
But dude, wake up.
Yeah. Scoot on over to your half.
Stop spooning me. Get off.
Yeah.
And so then he tells us about how Queequeg spends like 5 minutes putting his boots on. Not his pants, not his shirt.
He starts with his boots?
He starts with his boots.
But does it go on to say, hey, and then he put his pants on?
Well, and then eventually he put his clothes on. But like this guy is very specifically like, it just felt awkward. I just was sitting there hiding in bed like, because this is pre-pajamas. They were probably naked.
They're not even underwears? Why no underwears?
It depends on the time period.
People just straight up didn't think about wearing something else.
That wasn't a thing.
But how do you keep warm? I'm in my own house like this.
I mean, I don't know the particulars. I'd have to ask one of my costume history friends, but I'm pretty sure she'd back me up and be like, they might have been in their underwear.
At least wrap a towel or something.
At most, they would have been in their
I feel
underwear.
like if you're sleeping alone, you're like, whatever, don't care. But if you like came in, you're like, oh, a buddy.
Anyway,
I'm just gonna leave my pants on. You know what I mean?
Anyway, so it's the next day, and then they run into each other and they end up hitting it off. And like, oh my gosh, wasn't that so funny?
How now silly of us.
Yeah, and now they're best friends.
Oh my gosh.
So now they're best friends, and they're like, you want to just keep sharing a room? And they're like, sure.
Yeah.
So now
they put the pillows down. That's what all guys do. Or they'll be like, you sleep on the floor, I'll sleep on the bed.
I don't think so. So then it turns out, then like he describes it as they like immediately become bosom friends.
Okay.
But
sure.
They spent they eat together, they spend all their days together.
Sure.
They sleep together, they chill in bed, and they pass the pipe between them, both smoking off of it.
Okay.
So they're both so they're chilling in bed, sharing a pipe, staying up half the night talking. It's very cute.
It's very like sleepover.
Yeah.
Sort of
but
thing.
it and then what Queequeg does is he's like, yeah, we are like BFFs, and one of his ways of showing affection is to take his forehead and like put it against the other guy's forehead. It's like kind of like a forehead
like
butterfly kiss.
Yeah, like Moana.
Like Moana. And then he's like, yeah, we're...
And the other guy's like, I do it by lips, so this is... And then they...
No, they just... they're like, we're bosom friends, but Queequeg calls it something else that in his language is also the word for married.
Oh!
And then Queequeg...
It's like a funny joke? Like...
It's hard to say.
Okay.
Because then Queequeg takes out his bag of money. He's like from whatever the last thing he was doing.
Sure.
Takes out the money, divides it in half. He's like, my half, your half. We're bros. Have half of my money.
Bros wink.
We're bros wink. Have
I'll
half my money.
I'll buy you a ring with half my money.
So, I feel like there are two tones in this book. Like you have like the tone where it's like, this is whaling, this is technical, these are knots, this is the part of the ship, these are da-da-da-da-da. And then every now and then the tone will just kind of become more poetic and just sort of switch, and you're like, are we still talking about whaling? Because I don't think we are. I think we're talking about something else.
It's a little more rainbowy, is that what you're saying?
Yeah. So then we get to the boat, and we meet, I mean, it takes a while, but we eventually meet Ahab. And Ahab is
he's the actual captain.
Yeah, he's the actual captain.
Okay.
So he's old and crotchety, and he's run into Moby Dick before, and Moby Dick bit his leg off. Right off.
Okay, sorry. In my mind, you said Moby Dick, but in my mind, it was the dude.
Oh, Queequeg?
Like, no, the other one. The regular guy.
Ishmael? Like, Ishmael just bites.
Yeah, I was like, what the frick?
No.
So Moby Dick, he just somehow was like, get out of here. And he was like,
well, yeah.
Whale.
Yeah, just chomp chomp. And so
he sticks his leg out. Stop.
Well, then hang on. You have to be up close.
Did you get my pun though? Whale. Yeah, had to be done one
joke.
It
That's
had to
such
be
a
done
dad
one
joke.
time.
Okay. Yes.
Okay.
Quality dad joke.
Yeah. That's all I
All right. So he's met Moby Dick before. He got his leg bitten off, and then you see pirates with a peg leg. Not for Ahab. He has an ivory leg made from whalebone.
Okay.
I mean, that is his flex.
But it's still like a peg.
Yeah, pretty much.
But it's made of whalebone. And he's basically just like, F you.
Yeah, just like,
you're gonna do this, well, I'm gonna do this then?
Yeah.
Okay. Well.
So they get on the boat, and Ahab, he's like, you very much get the sense of like, yar.
Yeah, the piratey pirate.
And so he assembles the crew together, and he's like, this is a whaling journey, it's not a sailing journey, we're whaling to make money, but mostly we are whaling to kill one whale. The whale who got my leg. The white whale. So he gets like a gold doubloon and nails it to the mast, and he's like, the first guy who sees him gets this. And so it's like,
okay.
It's a gold doubloon.
Now we're serious.
Yeah, it's like, this is serious business. You want money? Find me that whale. Okay. And we're gonna kill him.
This is not sightseeing. This is murder.
No,
let's go.
If we kill some other whales and make money off of them, fantastic. Great. But mostly this guy.
Oh my god.
This one. All right. So
does he have a way to tell, or is he just going to see a white whale and be like, "That's the one," and then it's going to be Billy instead of?
It's got several distinctive features that it talks about. Where it's white, it has a weird forehead, it has like a janky jaw.
Okay, so there is actual this is the one, not like gotcha.
It's an albino whale. Oh, here's a different albino whale. It's the whale. No, it's
okay. So there is the one.
There is a specific one.
Okay.
So it talks a lot about the terminology. You've got the ship.
Yep.
And then you've got the whale boats. So you see the whale, you go down in the whale boat, you got to take your harpoon.
Which baffles me. Why you get?
You got to be up close and personal.
I know, but just to be like, let's get into a smaller one, because the ocean to me scares the death out of me. So because the whale could just be like, no.
That's why it's so dangerous.
That's what I'm saying. So better get in the smaller ones. Well, so all of us can go at one go.
Pretty much.
Hate it.
So
hate it.
You got to take your whale line. So it's like long rope.
Right.
So because you gotta, if you stab it and then you have a rope, it's harder for it to get away. Because so you've got 6 guys all rowing.
Yeah.
After the whale, trying to get close enough for the harpooner to stab it and try to kill it. And
does that do it? How many times do you think you have to stab that guy? Because you can't just tell me one stab and he's like, I'm done.
Well, these guys would kind of know at least a little bit about whale anatomy. So if you can get it through the right place. If
temple
you can,
sort of thing. Yeah. But I mean, obviously different for whales, but
but if you can get it in the right spot, dead whale.
All right.
You got a whale.
That's nuts.
All right. So you have to see it, got to row after it, you got to get close enough to stab it, and then you got to stab it before it kills you. Because there's so many ways to die. There's so many ways to die.
The ocean itself can just take you.
Yeah.
The whale won't even have to do anything.
I mean, a whale in distress is going to thrash around.
Oh, sure.
Break your boat. And that's just the whale.
Yeah. Do they go in packs, or are they single whales? Do you know what I mean?
It talks about that. Okay. So younger whales tend to go around in pods.
Sure.
And then if you're a male whale and you're a younger male whale, you'll collect some females.
Oh,
and then you'll have your school of females.
Okay.
And then if you're even older than that, then you kind of turn into a grumpy old man.
And you're be alone. Single out whatever,
yeah.
Which I assume that's what he is. Mm-hmm.
He's a grumpy old man whale.
Okay.
And so there's so many ways to die.
That's what I'm saying. That's why everyone's waiting. What's your fear? The ocean. And everyone's like, why? And I'm like, are you effing kidding me?
Lots of ways to die.
That's what I'm saying.
So many ways to die.
And everyone just makes fun of me.
So then once it's dead, assuming you catch it and you don't die, you gotta draw it up alongside the boat, string it up.
Yeah, to cut all the stuff off.
Yeah, so you gotta get in there. You want to get the spermaceti. You want to get the ambergris if it has it. Whale meat.
The bones, obviously.
The bones, which they use so basically to string it up, cut it apart, strip it, take everything of value off, and put it in the boat.
Right.
Let's see.
Which is nuts, because you can which means the boat has to be gigantic, or you only take some.
Yeah.
Which is just
the other fear is that if you're not careful, you can capsize the boat.
Oh yeah, no, definitely.
Mm-hmm.
Put too much in there and you just
So part of stripping the whale is you have one guy on the boat with a rope on him.
Yeah.
And you have the other guy on the whale with the rope tied to him. And it's like, if this guy falls off, you could both end up
in
dead,
the water.
In the water dead.
Oh yeah, no.
Easily. And so like Ishmael talks
Where is
about.
this at? Where is it? Does it tell you where in the ocean?
Is it
cold waters, or is it
at the beginning we're in Nantucket, which I think is in Canada, or it's.
I don't have any idea.
It's up.
So it is colder if you drop in the water. You're like
but like
you and done.
So you move, but they move during the book. They go down. They go around the Cape of Good Hope. They're in the Pacific Ocean. At one point, they're up near Japan. Okay. They just go where the whale, because the whales migrate.
Right, they migrate around. Okay.
So I don't remember all of where they went. They went a lot of places.
Sure.
And so Ishmael at one point is tied to Queequeg. So Queequeg is like doing the actual stripping of the whale while Ishmael is on the boat, and he's like, it's like we're married again. And it's like,
you're like, what?
It's like, okay,
there's only so many of these jokes before it just happens.
Before it doesn't sound like a joke anymore.
Right. Oh my gosh.
And like it doesn't really mention the sleeping arrangements on the boat.
Sure. But you can assume their cots are real
probably
close, if not the same one at this point.
Everybody, they're tight quarters on a boat.
Sure. Oh my gosh.
And then there's a scene. So you get the fat out of the whale.
Yeah.
And it's, once the whale dies, it's kind of like, it starts to congeal. And he's like, so to get the whale out, you have a tub with the chunks of fat and you got to go through and squeeze the fat. And it's usually you.
Why are you squeezing the fat?
To get the oil out.
Oh, I see. Get you.
So you're usually there squeezing the fat with another dude. You're just in there squeezing the fat, and sometimes you accidentally squeeze hands. But sometimes you accidentally squeeze hands, and he's like, "But the whale oil feels so good. You just feel at peace with the world, and you're squeezing hands with your bro, and it's just great." And it's like,
what the frick?
That's a little gay. That's a little.
You're like, it's not complete evidence, but it sure is looking right over there, isn't it?
Yes, exactly. And it's like, if the book hadn't started out the way it did, I probably wouldn't have thought anything of it. But because the book did start out the way it did, it's like, it's like, is everything a gay metaphor?
I mean,
and then
it's all. I don't want to be like it's all men, but like.
Yeah,
it makes you like wonder, because
it does make
that
you
makes
wonder.
It sound. Sorry.
So and then, and then he at one point he talks about like sailors are cool, but whalers are hardcore. You know, they're deadliest catching it out here.
Sure,
they're way more likely to die. You don't see sailors doing any of this crap. It is hardcore, hard work, dangerous stuff.
All right, fair enough.
And just the amount of times that he talked about it, it was just like. You into whalers? Or like you into whalers?
Is this your type, Nan?
Are you into whalers or are you into whalers?
Are you trying to be a whaler or you like them? Like, sus.
Or both.
Or both. Why not? Then you just...
And then at one point he talks about whalers versus sailors.
Okay.
So he's like, sailors, they're kind of standoffish. Like, if you're going through a boat and you pass boats, sailors will be like, sup. Yeah. And then just keep going.
Right.
But whalers get together and be like, let's have a party.
Oh my gosh.
So they'll go over to each other's boats, they'll chill, their captains will like they'll all just swap stories about whaling and laugh and have a good time.
Okay, cool.
So I'm just including this bit because it's important. So Queequeg gets sick.
Oh no.
It's very sad.
On what degree? Like, or like
dying.
Oh, for like a level 10.
He gets like I can't remember why he gets a fever, but
oh no.
He ends up being like, I want a coffin. I don't want, like, he's like, because traditionally when you bury a sailor at sea, you just sort of drop him and toss him. And he's like, I would like, when he was in Canada, he saw like these, they were like canoes. And he was like, I would like one of them. Because on my island, when someone dies, we put them in a canoe and we push them out and then they sail to whatever the other world is.
Right.
And so they make him a coffin, complete with a lid. Like it's a coffin thing, And he like insists on like, I want to test it, make sure it feels good. And he's like, yeah, it fits all my stuff. It's pretty comfy.
All my stuff? You mean his body parts?
No, like, well, his stuff, like his little bag of money.
He doesn't need it. He's gonna be the dead.
He does. It's
the Egyptian style. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, it's whatever their style is. It doesn't really say what country he's from. I don't.
No, but you know what I mean. When the Egyptians say like, "Here's your stuff. Here's some underwear. Here's some hats."
It's what he wants.
Okay.
And
I probably wouldn't give it all.
So then he ends up getting better, and he uses it as a storage chest. But then they lose one of the life buoys.
Oh. Right.
And so he's like, I mean, if we make my coffin airtight, it'll make a nice life buoy. And they go, sure will. And so they just nailed the lid on, turned it into a life buoy. And so you have like a regular life buoy on this side of the boat and a coffin on the other side. And that's the other life buoy.
Wow.
For when someone falls overboard.
That's very...
Yeah, it's
Adam's
weird.
Family of them.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so that happens. And then... So they've run into whales, they've run into other ships.
Sure. And
like Ahab is starting to get a little crazy. I mean, he was already a little crazy before, but the crazy is increasing.
The ocean's huge though, for him to be like, I'm getting this one dude.
Yeah, but I mean, they talk about that too, about like, if you know the specific migratory patterns.
Okay, but then why not wait till he comes back? Why chase him down? You know what I mean?
Because he wants him dead.
Okay, but...
Because he's the captain, and because he says so, and because.
Okay, all right.
And so, on board, they have all sorts of stuff, because they, like, will hardly even put into port sometimes.
Okay, so they got everything and
everything.
Yeah.
And so they're including a forge.
Okay,
and so he goes to the blacksmith, and he's like, I want to forge a harpoon. And he's like, great, I've got some metal. And he's like, no. You're going to use my metal. And so it's like... I was
say his leg or something. I was going to be like, bro, that's not going to cut it. It's not going to do enough.
No, that's not going to work. So he's like... He has like... It says something like horseshoe nails, which I guess are made of nice metal.
I mean, I guess.
But it's like, oh, this is like the very best metal that exists. And it's like, yes, and you're going to use it to make the harpoon. And so he's like, okay, sure.
Okay.
Sure. And do you have any metal for the barbs? My old razors. I don't need them anymore. And
he's like sitting up at night being like, what can I use for this? What can I use for this?
And so he's like, here are my old razors. Well, don't you want to keep one to shave? No.
I don't need to shave anymore. I need it to be as sharp as possible.
Yes.
Oh,
this is that. We're going to get him. And then, so they form the harpoon. And, well, the harpoon is the whole thing. There's the metal part. They form the metal part of the harpoon.
Okay.
And he is like, okay, bring me the water bucket so I can quench it. And Ahab is like, no. And, okay. And he's like, I want it quenched in blood. So there are 3 harpooneers on the ship. Yes, he's crazy. There are 3 harpooneers on the ship.
Is he one of them, or is he just like, me too now? He
is a harpooner. But he, it's kind of hard to be the front guy harpooner when you only have one leg. It's not so steady. So
okay, yeah.
He brings the 3 ship harpooneers, and Queequeg is one of them.
Oh man.
And the other 2 were also like they're not Christian. They came from other countries that are pagan.
Okay, sure.
And so he's like, I want to quench it with your blood. Can you guys donate some blood? And they're like, sure.
Okay, wait. So he wants to, instead of being like, in the ocean water, he's like, no, I want it to be blood.
Yep.
And because I was thinking he wanted it to be like, no, I'm going to just jam it in the whale. He just wants blood in general. He just vampired suddenly woke up one day and was like, bleed into this bucket.
And they do. So they're all like, sure, whatever.
So wait, does that have to do with anything? Like, he's like, I don't want Christian blood, I want the non-Christian blood?
I think it was just because they were harpooneers.
He just wanted specifically harpooneers.
I think so.
Blood, because that was going to help it.
So then, they all donate a little. There's enough to quench.
A little?
I don't know how big it is.
Dude, because it's got to and I assume it's not a baby harpoon where it's like, toothpick him. Dude, that blood
It was
It's probably a lot, dude. If it's like a bucket, even if it's like this, think how much blood you have to like. Yeah, it's not like poke your finger.
No, it's not. It's not like the diabetic test.
No.
So he's like, I'm gonna have your blood. And so they do. Oh, he quenches it in blood and he prays over it to God, to the pagan gods, and to the devil.
Gotta cover all of the bases.
He's just like, I don't
someone
care.
Help me.
I don't care. Gosh. I don't care how we get him. I just care that this is the harpoon. It's made with my metal and my blood and the blood of my friends and
friends
and any deity who is listening.
Anybody that's willing to help me.
Gimme.
Yeah.
Kill the whale.
Oh my gosh.
And it's just like, okay, you've gotten a little nuts. So they meet up with several ships. Like, they meet up with a handful of ships, but I only wrote down a specific few. One of the ships is called the Bachelor. And the Bachelor has had so much success at whaling that they have had to empty every vessel on board to fill it with whale oil. Like, the chamber pots, full of whale oil. The drinking glasses, all full of whale oil. Everything that can hold liquid on board is full of whale oil. And
why don't they go to port, dude? Go back. It's done.
I mean, well, they're on their way back.
Oh, okay. I'm like,
they're on their way back.
Picking it up.
But they're just like, woohoo, we're going to be so rich. We can't even store all the oil. We're going to be so rich. And he's like, have you seen the white whale? And the captain is like, I don't even believe in the white whale. Come over. Let's have a party.
Plus, it's only him after the white whale, right? No one else gives two flying leaps.
Not really.
So then why are they don't care?
They don't.
Could you imagine if someone else accidentally killed him? And he's just been out there?
He would have been annoyed, yes. But he's like, and they're like, come over and party, have some whale steak, you know? And he's just like, no.
We gotta kill this specific one. Oh my gosh.
The next boat that they meet is called the Rachel. And the Rachel is desperate for their help because they have lost one of their whaleboats.
Oh no.
With the people in it.
Oh no.
They went after a whale.
And the whale was like, not today.
And one of the whale, like, they were going after several whales because sometimes they'll be in a pod.
Sure.
And so this boat went after this whale and it drugged them this way. And these boats were going after these whales and it drugged them that way. And so the ship had to go after the one with the most people.
Sure.
And so now they're looking for this other whaleboat. And part of the reason this whaleboat is so important is because on this whaleboat is the captain's son.
Oh, of course he is. Crazy.
And he begs Ahab. He's like, please, we know roughly where we lost them. We just need to, like, do bigger and bigger circles. And Ahab says no. He says, nope, only whale.
Only whale.
And
please donate your blood on the way out.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
So the third boat that they meet is called the Delight. And they just saw Moby Dick. They tried to kill him, and he broke large parts of their boat and killed 5 men. And the captain is like, what are you doing? Don't do this. This is a horrible idea. And he's like, the harpoon has not yet been forged that can kill that whale. And Ahab is like,
I got this one with the blood.
Here's my blood harpoon.
Could you imagine those people that are just like, were trying to recuperate their body with all the blood?
Oh
they're just like laying there, they're like,
yeah. Here's my blood harpoon.
Get him.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Okay. So sailors are supposed to be, like, superstitious.
Yeah.
And so anytime anything weird happens, the sailors are like, it's an omen. So at one point there's a lightning storm and it turns the compasses.
Yeah.
And they're like, yeah.
They're like, oh, frick.
And so they freak out and Ahab is like, no, it's fine. And so he just gets a needle and
like
something
does the wool
and does the thing. Yeah. And he's like, see, it's fine.
Oh my god.
And the sailors are like, I mean, I guess.
You're like, we're clenching it right now, but yeah,
but
sure,
we're kind of nervous. So the fourth character that I'm going to mention is called Fedallah.
Okay.
And it describes it calls him a Parsi, but I looked it up. It turns out he was Persian.
Oh, okay, cool.
And he was Persian, and Ahab treated him like he could see the future. And because I'm guessing that this guy said he could see the future. Probably.
Just mentioned it in passing. He's like, I'm one of them guys.
It's kind of weird. But so Fedallah has several predictions about their journey. Fedallah says that Fedallah will die first before Ahab does. that...
Is he old? Is this person old or is he young? Is he mid?
I feel like he's mid.
Like a dad?
I don't know.
Pre-dad?
I don't remember.
Well, I don't know.
It's 24 hours worth of book.
I know. I just didn't know if he was like, I'm old and I'm gonna probably die before. You know?
No, he was like he said that he would die first.
Okay.
But after he died, Ahab would see him again. And then Ahab would see 2 hearses, and Ahab, only hemp could kill him. And Ahab is like, sweet, undefeatable.
You're like, nice, that's not a whale. Perfect.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
I mean, have you ever read Macbeth?
In high school.
Well, there's the part where it's like, only a man born of woman can kill Macbeth, and Macbeth is like, sweet, I can't be killed. And then the guy who stabs Macbeth in the face he's like, but no man born of woman could kill me. And
everyone's born of a woman, you nutsack.
This guy was a C-section baby. And he's like, well, I was born a C-section baby.
Oh my gosh.
And then Macbeth is like, no, and then he dies.
So that's your last conversation before you off it. Darn it. And that's what you have to envision in your mind as you're going out, as you're bleeding out. You're like just imagining
where you're like, I thought I couldn't be killed, but I never thought about a C-section baby.
Thought an alien would do it.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
So they finally spot the whale. Ahab spots him. He's like, so that gold coin is mine.
Oh my gosh.
And then he's like, but I'll be generous. Whoever kills him can have it.
He just turned it? He turned the bribe?
Yeah, but like he would have won it.
Oh, Ahab himself.
Yeah, okay, Ahab himself. So he was...
I was like...
It was like, I win the gold coin, but you know what?
And then next one, and just like tapped it back up.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Plus I already had a hole in it.
The total chase of the whale takes 3 days.
Okay.
They're chasing it 4 days. So on the first day, when they go after it... Yeah, I think it's the first day.
Why didn't the whale just be like...
It talks about that,
and
too.
You know what I mean? And just like...
No, the book gets very technical about
his strategic moves as a whale.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my
and gosh. About how long they can hold their breath, and about how often they come up, and da-da-da. It gets very, very technical, which is why it is a day long. So long.
Okay.
So long. So on the first day, okay, so the I had to check my notes.
I know.
So the first day they go out, you have Ahab and Fedallah are in a boat, and you have Ishmael and Queequeg are in a boat, and some other people who are less important.
First, why would you stand next to him? Because what if it was like jump, jump? You know what I mean? I'd be like, you be in the back, because I'm gonna be in the front.
Okay.
Anyway,
so he goes and they get close enough to the whale
Oh my gosh! What if it's Jonah and he eats freaking Fedallah, and then he eats the Ahab, and then he's like, "Hey."
They actually do talk about Jonah in the book. There's a part where there's like I could go on and on about some of the religious stuff in the book too.
Oh my gosh!
But I wanted to skip that and just focus on this.
Yeah.
So,
sorry. I'll turn it down.
Yeah,
it's okay.
You'll have to fix that.
This is first round, so sorry for whatever happens here.
We're trying.
It's good.
So to dart the whale is to like you get the first stab in.
Yeah.
And it's the part that's attached to the rope. Sure. And the rope is attached to the boat.
Okay.
Assuming you've tied it.
Which still baffles me, because it's like the rope can only go so long, and if the whale's like 5 more meters. You know what I mean?
Yes, that's why it's
so dangerous. And then
dangerous.
just yank them down. I'm so like I don't like the ocean, dude. I'm so like
it's
woo.
Yes. So they get close enough to dart the whale with Ahab's magic harpoon.
Yep.
And some other people get like some darts in too.
Sure.
And so what the whale does is it bites Ahab's boat in half. So Ahab and his buddies are all just floating in the
Oh, I would poop a freaking brick. Yeah, I'd be so upset.
And then because it's got lines in it from the other boats, it like swims in a direction that like smacks the boats together. But so Ahab's boat dead. They're all just floating in the water. The other 2 boats, they have to...
I would be so scared the whale would just like... I know I keep saying that, but like, I would just be like, I can't.
So the other boats are okay, but they had to cut their lines.
Yeah.
So
the other boats got stabbed. This got a dart in too.
Mm-hmm.
So not just the okay.
Yeah. So he's got a couple darts in him, but he's a tough old geezer.
The whale or the Ahab? The whale.
Both. So he gets a couple. They get a couple darts in him, and he's gone. But they're going to pursue him in the boat because they know what direction he's heading, and whales tend to stick to a certain route.
Okay. Sure.
And he's like, "No, we're still going after him. We're still going after him." So he had to like kick off his ivory leg.
Oh no. I would have made sure Falafel was still alive because I'm like, as long as you're still alive, I'm still alive. But as soon as he died, oh no!
They get back to the boat.
Yes,
I know. Too bad.
We'll do it in 2-parters or something.
So they get back to the boat, and he's like, "Where's Fadala?" And the crew is like, "Below."
Below the water.
Like, search the ship. Search the ship. Search the ship. They search the ship from top to bottom. No sign of Fadala.
I knew it.
And he's like, he's dead. He's dead. He's dead at the bottom of the ocean. I know he's dead at the bottom of the ocean. And
or in the whale.
So, and then one night, so the Starbuck is the first mate.
Yeah.
And at one point, Starbuck goes to Ahab, and Starbuck is a good first mate. He does what he's told 99% of the time.
All right.
But at this point, he goes to Ahab, and he's like, "You don't have to do this. You don't have to do this. It's been 2 days already. Tomorrow is the 3rd day. It can only get worse. We've already lost a man.
And a boat.
You don't have to do this." And Ahab basically looks at him and is like, "I can't not do this.
Oh my God.
This is who I am. I can't
This is my whole identity."
Else.
Oh my God.
And just, it's one of those times that the book's tone changes, and it's like, I don't think we're talking about whaling anymore. I think like this is somebody trying to be like, can't you just be different? Can't you just be normal? And them being like, this is who I am. I can't not do this. And so he's like, I can't not pursue this whale. I will pursue this whale. I will kill this whale, or I will die trying. Period.
Jeez.
It gets very intense. It's cool. So 3rd day comes. They row up to the whale. And the whale still has the darts in him and all the line. And tangled in the line is Fadala's body. So second prediction has come true.
Gosh.
Second prediction has come true.
That would be so gross to see.
Oh yeah. I'm sure, because fishies and
that and just
gobble gobble.
Yeah, like even just the water, like being waterlogged in that.
Mm-hmm. No, it's gross. And so he realizes that the whale is the first hearse, because he was like, you're going to see 2 hearses. So a hearse is anything that transports a body.
Right.
So the whale is the first hearse. And he's like, crap, what's the second hearse going to be?
Doesn't it count as that coffin that they did before? That not count?
It would, but it won't.
It didn't actually.
It didn't
actually hold a body, so it doesn't count.
Not yet.
Okay.
So they're fighting the whale.
Yeah.
And the whale has had it up to here.
He's like, bro.
He's like,
please.
I'm done with this. Yeah. But like Ahab gets the harpoon out of him. The magic stabby harpoon.
The blood one.
The blood one. And so he how does the line go? I can't remember how the beginning of the line starts, but it ends with, "From hell's heart I stab at thee." Oh, and so that's where that's from. And so he like stabs the whale, and the whale basically goes, eh. No. So Ahab, all the crew, well, wait, not yet. So Ahab has like smashed, Moby Dick has smashed like 2 of the boats. Okay. And he's going for the main boat.
Like the original, the
ship. He's going for the ship. And at first they don't know where he is, but then like at some point somebody looks down and they realize he's coming up.
He is doing this.
He's doing that on the ship. And so, and then it hits Ahab. He's like, the boat is the second hearse. All those men are going to die. All those men are going to die. The boat is the second hearse. And understandably, he freaks out. So then it's after that his boat is in pieces. It's going down. It is in the act of going down.
The boat or the ship?
The ship. The ship is going down. All those men are going to die. And so now it's also revenge. And he's like, from hell's heart, I stab at thee. Yeah, and so he stabs the whale.
Yeah.
And then the line gets tangled. And that's
around his good leg?
No. Oh, okay. The line just gets tangled. But like he talks about, it's very important to make sure your line doesn't get tangled, because if anything gets caught in that line.
Oh yeah, that's what I'm saying. His good leg. Whoop.
So he leans down to fix the line.
Oh, freak, his arm?
The line wraps around his neck,
No
and he
way.
is pulled off the boat.
No freaking way.
And is probably killed almost instantly. I mean, I would hope his neck gets broken instead of having to drown. That would suck. Anyway, so...
Oh my gosh.
So he sees 2 hearses, and it's hemp rope.
Oh, freak.
Mm-hmm.
Got him.
Yep.
Got him.
Yep.
I would have thrown all that overboard. No, thank you. Oh my gosh.
That's the thing about predictions. They don't until you see them.
Yeah.
So...
Yeah. Oh my
Ishmael
gosh.
was in one of the boats that got all smashed up.
Oh, freaking nuts.
The boat goes down, and when you have something that big sinks, it kind of...
Oh, yeah, it sucks in a little bit. It
sucks in all the stuff. Yeah. Ishmael was far enough away that he didn't get sucked down with everybody else.
Did Queequeg do it?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, no.
Yeah, I know. It's sad. But something does pop up out of the water, and it's Queequeg's coffin. It's Queequeg's coffin.
Oh, my gosh.
And so he crawls up...
He's the only one?
He's the only one. And so he crawls up on there, and he floats there for like a day and a half before the Rachel, the one that's looking for the lost boat, comes along and finds him.
What's the girl's name on Titanic that gets on the thing?
That's Rose.
Oh, I was going to be like, are you even kidding me?
No, I imagine that Rachel is a biblical reference because Rachel is Joseph's mother, Joseph who gets kidnapped and sold into Egypt. And so she spends her life looking for her son, even though he's like, they tell her he's dead, and we could get into that, but that would be a whole 10 more episodes.
If that would have been the same as the Titanic, I would have pooped a brick. I'd have been like, F you and your freaking pieces of wood, you garbage, freaking
So,
oh my gosh.
So what I think about this being an unrequited gay love story is, like, Ahab has met... I think the whale is supposed to be like true love, like real, actual love, because he's met it before. It took a piece of him,
right,
and now it's all he thinks about. It consumes him to the point that he will have nothing else. And so that probably wouldn't have occurred to me, if not for how the beginning,
all the sus action,
all the like. It's like at first it was like, okay, that's a little gay. Okay, that's a little gay. Okay.
You're like,
this is a lot gay.
Yeah.
And then if you go through the rest of the book, like, kind of looking a little bit. Yeah. There are, like, little things that
now
people
on your
say
mind, you're like,
and do. And, like, there's a section where it's like, I think that's a coming out story.
Oh my gosh.
Is that a coming out story? And then...
Did anybody like the kiss?
No.
Oh, okay. Oh, good.
At least it doesn't...
That would have been a turn.
Yeah, it doesn't say anything expressly. Yeah. And then you have Ahab just pursuing the whale to his death. And then one of the boats was called the Bachelor.
Yeah.
Bachelors tend to party.
Yeah.
And the captain on the Bachelor very specifically said, I don't believe in the white whale. So I kind of feel like that's kind of a young man mentality of true love doesn't exist. Yeah. We just party.
Yeah.
We're just here to party.
Yeah.
And yeah. And anyway, I would love to read you some of the text messages that I sent my friend.
Let us know in the comments if you want to see those text messages or not.
Well, you may or may not be able to because my phone is dead.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So we'll see.
We'll see if we can get her phone back.
Yeah. We'll see what we can do.
Yeah.
But it was one of my theater friends, and I was like, can you just I was like, does this sound gay to you? And he was like,
me?
Have I imagined this?
Right.
Or does this sound gay to you? And I like texted him some of the text and some of the stuff, and he was like, oh, that's gay.
Oh no.
And it's like, okay, good.
Okay, it's not just me.
It's not just me.
I'm not just on this line where you're like, now I'm just seeing stuff where it is. You're like,
and then,
out there.
But like, so I'm not the only person who thinks this. So I did.
Did you look it up?
I did some digging. The furnace is on.
Oh frick! Pause. Who knows how long this will be? But wrap it up.
Yeah, I'm
okay.
Yes, I know, but like.
Yeah. No.
What would you cut?
No, I don't know. But
what would you cut?
I don't know.
What would you cut? You can't cut.
No, it'll be a long pilot, and then and then after that we'll get down.
Have to reel it in.
Yeah.
But
Prepare yourself for Pride and Prejudice.
Oh, Pride and Prejudice, less than a page.
Perfect. Great.
It's just going to be like, here's the basics of what happened, and this is why I hate all these characters.
Oh my gosh. See, mine are like real easy. Oh my gosh. I accidentally listened to an LGBTQ book. Had to do with Snow White. It was odd.
Oh, was it all the dwarves being gay?
No.
Well, what was it then?
You'll have to wait and see.
Okay.
in 3 more episodes, because I'm going to do the awful murder mystery first.
Yeah. No, because during Into the Woods, there's a song where the 2 princes, and there's one has a thing for Snow White and the other one has a thing for Sleeping Beauty.
Yeah.
I made some necrophilia jokes.
Oh my gosh.
Well, you know, it's like that episode of Bob's Burgers where Louise is like, how many dead girls did you kiss? And he's, I don't know. How many?
I have not
I don't
seen
know.
that one.
How many?
Oh my gosh.
No, it's a good one. It's a classic.
I've just been like trying to work through. I saw one today where he's like, "This, can you glue this for me? Because last time I did, I accidentally glued my wiener to the helicopter, and then you just seen the helicopter go up and down. And I'm like, what the frick?
It's a cartoon that is not for children.
No, but it's like just enough, because I'm not into like a Family Guy or American Dad or stuff. But it's just enough that you're like, okay, this is funny, but it's not those like. Yeah. Okay, now it's just
it depends on the episode. Mostly, I'm okay with American Dad. Mostly,
yeah.
But Family Guy, I can't. I can't.
There's too much stuff that I'm like, I can't do it.
It's like, nope. Mm-mm.
Yeah.
Nope. Yeah.
What a good song. Freaking nuts.
Okay.
I've changed the filters, hoping that would like settle it down or something. It's like, nah. But thanks for cleaning me, though.
My hot cocoa's probably cold.
I was just thinking, I'm like, I was in the shower today, and I'm like...
Well... You should have showered earlier.
You should have, or I should have?
You should have.
I know, I thought about it.
If that's what you wanted, too bad, so sad. I mean, I'm going to be able to shower earlier tomorrow. Yeah. Because I won't have a phone.
Oh, are you going to need it for anything? Or are you going to be like...
Well, if I can...
Uh-oh. Oh, poop sack. Is it because it's warm or because it's... He's a little warm, but it's okay because we're doing this. So we'll just leave him off and let him live for a second. And then... We'll pause this.
Has it been a roller...
Test?
Test.
Perfect. Go.
So... I'm not the only person who thinks this stuff. Oh, yeah. I did some research, and they were like, yeah, we're pretty sure that even though Melville and Hawthorne were both married, we kind of think that Melville had a crush on Hawthorne, and some of his letters are a little
sus.
A little sus, but we're not sure that affection was reciprocated.
Oh, no. So, I mean, well.
So remember, it's dedicated to Hawthorne, and he specifically says... in token of my admiration for his genius. So I kind of feel like this is all kind of a gay love letter, where it's like, this is how I feel about you.
Oh, man.
This is...
That he's the white whale?
Yeah, that he's...
Oh, it's okay. We'll just finish with this. With no video.
Sorry, guys. No video. Yeah,
sorry, the video died.
But it's like he's the white whale. He's the guy that he'll never get to have.
Oh, no.
I mean, we've gone on long enough. I mean, there are some parts of the book that I could dive into a lot deeper, but yeah, it would take so long. And it's like, kind of like, aw.
Yeah, but I mean, also like, whoa. I'm still the whole Tarzan ending and the freaking
with the rope,
with the rope and
just I mean, it is sad, but what really bothers me, what really, really upsets me, is that people talk about Moby Dick like, oh, it's like Robinson Crusoe, it's like Gulliver's Travels, It's like the Swiss Family Robinson. Those books are trash compared to this.
This one's just so deep and so
like this one is so much
rounded.
deeper, and it's like this is a piece of queer literature that I have never heard talked about as queer literature. It's always, oh, it's whaling, oh, it's an adventure, oh,
what a manly book.
It's yeah, and it's like
you're like, yep, there are men in it.
Yeah, there are men in it, but it's like this is an early example of queer literature.
Yeah.
And I have spent my whole life thinking, oh, Adventure Time, whale, whale, whale.
Yeah, that's
and
it.
Stuff, and it's like, but it's like, no, it is so much more than that, and it makes me so mad that nobody talks about that. And it's actually been banned in some places for because they're like, this part sounds too gay, and so we're gonna ban it. And it's like,
whoop.
I mean, don't ban books. I don't believe in banning books.
Yeah, if you don't like it, then just don't read it.
Don't read
That's it.
Like, I mean, I read the first Game of Thrones. I didn't really like it, so I'm not going. It's a little bit violent for my taste, and so much incest. So and so much incest. So, do I think that George R.R. Martin needs to be punished? No. He's a person writing about what he thinks.
Yeah.
And so, but am I going to read the other ones? No. They're not for me. I am not his audience. Yeah. And that's fine.
Yep.
And it's just like, I wonder if they teach this book in like any queer literature classes. Because they should. If
you know, then let us know in the comments.
So this was kind of long for a first episode, but it was a meaty book, so no regrets.
Wouldn't take it back. So next time we'll be doing, I read a murder mystery book. It's called like The Murder at Cape Cod or something. I'll have the official title when we get around to here. But yeah, let us know in the comments if you've read Moby Dick, what you think about it, if you have questions, if you want to see those texts. If we get them back, let us just know in the comments anything you want to know, anything you want to add. If not, if you want to see us when we're not doing books, feel free to follow us.
Probably too bad.
What? Oh, I meant like follow us on Instagram.
Follow us on Instagram.
Mine's Hockey Shorty 59 and Heidi's is
I'm Waning Crescent Designs.
Yeah.
No spaces, no dashes.
Just the profesh. Mm-hmm. Feel free to follow us there. If you just like us here, we'll do one book a week. If it's another really thick book, we might do.
We might break it into two.
We'll break into two, or we'll do one and see if anyone wants to hear about the second one. This is brand new, so we're just testing the waters. We're
just people talking about books.
Yeah. Also, if you have books that you don't want to read, but you want us to read, drop us a comment too. We'll get around to them. I have a list.
Yeah, I have a long list.
If it super intrigues us, maybe we'll scoot it up the line or something.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, thanks for listening. Do you have anything left?
Read more books.
Or listen. We listen.
Yeah,
so
we listen. Sometimes I read, sometimes I listen. Books are good for you. Read more books. Read more books, children. Read your children books. Some children books are really good. I'm listening to one right now. We're going to get an episode on it. It's going to be good.
Coming up. Anyways, all right, bye.
Yeah, bye.